What's going on, Patriots? Welcome back. Got another episode going on. As you can see, I got my Let's Start a Riot shirt. 3 Days Grace. Great show. If you get a chance to see it, it's worth every penny. So kind of just thumbing through YouTube and catch a lot of videos about ICE and whatnot. Seeing the news, ICE is on the news. Everybody's this and that. It's basics, common sense, ladies and gentlemen. If an immigrant crosses our borders unknowingly to us and does not do it properly, then they've committed a federal crime. A crime. Okay, right off the bat, as soon as they come in the border. I don't care if they've been here 12 minutes, 12 years, or whatever. They're still a criminal because they have not corrected that mistake. And if they're not willing to correct that mistake, I wonder what other crimes they're not willing to commit to or admit to. You have Somalians in Minnesota that are committing fraud beyond belief. And I know Ilhan Omar is right at the top of it all. It's not coincidence that you have a Somali native come to America and run for political office, and then they have an area of our country that they are invading, as I would say, and then all of a sudden have massive fraud in that area. We need to start holding all elected employees accountable. Nobody's being held. It seems like you can be elected into Washington, D.C. and do whatever the hell you want to do. That needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. Straight up. This is crimes against the American citizen. It's fraud, theft, whatever you want to call it. And Ilhan Omar has already proven that she has committed treason. She needs to be out of office now. Don't need to wait. Walk in that office and drag her out. Put her on a plane, ship her back where she came from. Take her brother with her, or her husband, or whatever you want to call him. Let them all go. ICE agents got a job to do. A lot of people came illegally. And this is what you Americans don't understand. And I want you to listen to me very carefully on this. Okay? You have family here. You're an American citizen. You have family here. You have children, grandchildren, whatever it may be. Okay? And every so often, during a certain period of time, the United States likes to do a census. They need a count of everyone who is in here in the country. So that way, funding, other types of money can be allocated to the states so that you can benefit when you need them. And they go by the population, by who's here. How many do we have? Okay, it's like feeding a home. You've got 5 people in the home. Okay, you need to allocate a certain amount of money to feed everybody in the home. But if you put aside enough money for 5 people and 3 other people show up unannounced, well, they just cut into your food. They just cut into your nourishment, your money. You may have to go spend more money. Guess what? That's more money than you needed to spend because you have that money allocated for something else. Okay, so when illegal immigrants come to this country and they come to your area and you need any type of assistance whatsoever, well, it just went from here to here because you have illegal immigrants coming in here sucking it dry. So when you need it, it's not going to be there. That's what you don't understand. Okay, they're throwing a monkey wrench in everything that's going on that helps this country run right. That's why we say come legally. So that way they're accounted for, and we know how much money to allocate to the communities. When you have more people there than the money can afford, the people who really need it, the Americans, your money, your tax dollars, is not going to be there for you. So you need to sit back and grasp that. Okay? This country was made for me and you. It says it in the song. And our grandchildren, our children, whatever, this is their future. This is their home. Okay? And my home is for my kids when I pass. And nobody going to come in and touch my home and take that from them. But you're allowing people from other countries to come here illegally and strip you of what's rightfully yours. And now your kids and your grandkids get to suffer. And you're out on the street protesting ICE gathering up all these illegal immigrants and get them out of here. Oh, but they're stopping Americans. They're detaining Americans. Guess what? That's temporary. Once they show, hey, yeah, I belong here, they go on about their way. Okay? Illegals are undocumented. So you have to ask questions. You've got to stop people. You've got to ask them where you're from. If they're not honest, stepping up and doing what's right, well, it don't matter where you're from. It don't matter if you're an American citizen. If you don't look like you're an American, or you don't have English language down just right, then yeah, I would question it too. Where you from? How long you been here? But the average citizen who, I guess, doesn't agree on how federal agents go in to find these people who are in your community, sucking your shit dry while you and your kids suffer, you go in there and you interfere with what they've got going on. They have a job to do. We, the American people, elected Donald Trump to get these people out of our country because we know the consequences. You don't. You, for some reason, want to kiss their ass, and I don't know why. And this Minneapolis mayor, he's a treasonous traitor. He doesn't deserve to hold office at all. He will dance for these people because there's so many in that area. He counts on their votes. So he dances like a dancing chicken. You just turn the hot plate on underneath and he starts dancing. That's what they're doing. And stuff. He can't run on a job well done. But he can go out there and put on a fake face, fake attitude, all that just to get votes. And then when one of his constituents or whatever decides they want to put their nose where it doesn't belong and put the lives of other people in danger and they lose theirs in the process, and, well, he's trying to act tough so he can get those votes. He don't give a damn about that woman in Minneapolis. He don't give a shit about her. He don't give a damn about nobody but him. But he's doing the song and dance so he can keep himself in a job. Any real leader would have made sure something like that never happened by telling his constituents, stay home. Do not interfere with federal law enforcement. That is not your place. You may not agree with it, but there's nothing you can do about it. You can't go out there on the street. It's dangerous. If you put their lives in danger, they will put you down. Stay home with your family where you belong. Because that's the idiot. That's the most stupidest thing I've ever seen anybody do. You got children at home. and you out protesting and fighting and trying to keep people you don't know nothing about here. You're putting your life and future on the line. Time away from your kids, which could end up forever like her, on the line. Now her kids won't have her. I bet you, I have no doubt in my mind, if she was to be brought back right now and said, look, you can stay where you're at in the next life, or you can be back here with your children and go home. I promise you, she'll be going home. You'll never see her again. She'll never protest again. But you don't get that chance. Once your life is over, that's it. You hang up the towel. What's done is done. I know for a fact that officer did not want to have to shoot her. And I know it's probably eating him up that she lost her life over something stupid by simply not doing what you were told. They had a lawful order for her to stop and get out of that car. That's all she had to do. They may have probably just verbally chastised her a little bit, and then send her on her way. But for the simple fact that she didn't want to stop and do it right, and she chose to drive through this guy to get out of there, it cost her life. So all of you protesters in Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Portland, Oregon, and every sanctuary city you're at, mess around and find out. In the end, nobody wins. So in other words, don't play the game. Stay home with your family. You have no business getting into federal law enforcement business that has nothing to do with you. If you don't agree with it, run for office and go into Congress and change the laws. That's the only way you're going to do it. So until then, go home with your family. Be happy. Take care of yours that's going to replace you one day. And don't worry about somebody else that has nothing to do with you. Because in the end, it doesn't matter. They're going to come in and they're going to push your children and grandchildren out. Muslims are trying to do that right now. You heard them in the streets of New York. They're over here in Texas. Texas, of all places. They brave. They real brave. Because when you push the envelope too far, yeah, that'd be the last mistake you ever make. But you heard them. They said Islam would enter in every home. That means they're coming for your children and your grandchildren. Straight up. And when that happens, guess what? They're going to be in your home. They're going to be changing the minds of your grandchildren and children. You're going to sit here and work your butt off to teach your kids the American way, the American dream, and why it is so wonderful to be an American. And then they're going to come in and screw everything up that you taught them. And then they're going to enter your home. Then they're going to enter your communities. Then they're going to enter your elected offices to where they can get their hands on our laws. And then they're going to change our laws. And there's nothing you can do about it because majority wins. And the next thing you know, you're living under their laws instead of the American law. The laws we put in place so that each and every American can enjoy liberty in the pursuit of happiness. They don't want that. And they're coming. They're here. And it needs to be stopped. Because if not, your kids and grandkids are going to suffer like never before. And it's not going to happen under my watch. But how strong are your children and grandchildren? That's the question. So, all you Americans out there, these illegal immigrants came from places and stuff that that's where they belong. Their home. Venezuela, Honduras, Ecuador, it don't matter. They need to go home. Okay? If they don't like the way things are and they want to come to America, they need to come right. But in order to do so, they need to self-deport before ICE gets them. Because once ICE gets a hold of them and they get shipped out of here, they're not allowed to come back, ever. So, might want to stay home, mind your business. Stay off the streets. These people are going to go around, ICE, they're going to go around and do their jobs. They're going to round these people up. And, you think just because, they're getting criminals out of there. Oh, but Joe Blow over here, he's been here 15 years. He's peaceful. He just goes to work, but he came legally, so he's a criminal. That's it. You just got to commit a crime. You're a criminal. He committed a crime, did not fix it, so therefore he's a criminal. He needs to be rounded up, take his whole family with him, and ship him where he came from. That's it. He does not belong here. She does not belong here. And then, but if they self-deport, I liked America. I want to go back. All right, come the right way. We'll welcome you with open arms. Okay, but you got to do it right. We don't care that you want to be here. We care about you, how you get here. And you need to fix it. So, all my fellow Americans who are out there acting like a fool, go home to your family. Look your kids in the eyes. And if you really want to be out there on the streets interfering with ICE, you go tell your kids that you value an illegal immigrant more than their future. Because when you support illegal immigrants coming in, you're forfeiting your home. You're forfeiting your kids and your grandkids' home. And they're going to live under their rule. And you can tell your kids straight to their face and don't lie to them. I don't give a damn about your future. These people need to be here. And you need to live under their rule. Might as well be honest, because that's what's going to happen. Anyway, get your minds right. Give your life to Christ. Give your heart to Christ. Give it all. Have a relationship with God above. He is the reason you have woken up today. He is the reason that you got air in your lungs. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. But if you're here today, it's because God still needs you. And I give him all the glory. I'm thankful. But I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my home here in America, where I was born. And I'm going to pass it down to my kids. I'm not going to pass it down to the children of illegal immigrants. Now, if an immigrant comes here legally and becomes an American citizen, that's my neighbor. That's my friend. That's my co-worker. But if you come here legally, I have no respect for you. You're a criminal. And all you're doing is trying to live off the backs of Americans who do belong here. Even if they came from where you came from. So, stop being disrespectful. You want to come legally. And for all you idiots out there, out in the streets, fighting a law enforcement that you have no business doing, committing a crime yourself, you need to go home to your families. Because if not, you're going to fuck around and find out. Plain and simple. God bless you. Y'all be careful and be safe. Till next time.